Hi there, my name is Lo. Welcome to my channel where I discuss everything between Hermes and grocery bags. Today I wanted to show you the bag that I got for my birthday. Last week I told you that the bags that I originally got for my birthday, a Esther Acme bag and a little Lifner bag, that I decided to return those because I didn't really see a place for them in the long run in my collection. And I decided to get something else instead. And what I got instead is a very different bag. It is a Loewe Puzzle Nano. I got this one pre-loved and unfortunately they didn't have the original dust bag, but they did give me a dust bag at least. But funnily enough, this is a dust bag from Wandler, which is a Dutch brand. So yeah, not surprising perhaps that if you buy with a pre-loved website, and this actually came from the company that also hosts the website, a bit similar I suppose to what the Loewe-girl does, for example, that you sell them a bag or they put it on concession for you and you can actually buy it from the company instead of the individual. So that's also what I did here. Let's get it out of its dust bag. Ta-da! And there she is. If you've seen more of my videos, you might recognize that we're zoomed in a little bit today because this is such a small bag. Like usually you would see the whole table and would also make it a bit easier to move my hands around, but today I'll just stick with my fingers on this bag. So here I have the Loewe Puzzle Nano bag. This one is in light blue. It is a very lovely shade of perhaps baby blue, I'm not really sure what to call it, but it edges a bit on grey. This was a seasonal color, so they don't sell it at Loewe anymore. I have to say I was just on the Loewe website and actually I didn't even see any Nano puzzle bags on there anymore, so they now also have a very cute Nano or mini puzzle bum bag, but this style is at the moment not available. Not sure if it's coming back, but if you're interested in this bag you can also try to pick it up pre-loved. I eventually managed to get it with 65% off to the new price because these bags right now they go for almost €1,000, and that is crazy for a mini bag if you're asking me. Mini bags are really cute, but I know that a lot of people also find them very unpractical because a lot of them won't actually hold a phone, and that is also mostly the case for this one, but I'll get back to that in a bit. So it's a light blue version, it has silver hardware. These Nano bags always come with a chain, which is also a silver chain in this case. It is detachable, but it is not adjustable. These clasps also don't swivel, so you have to make sure, I mean, it's less important with a chain strap than with a leather strap obviously, but you have to make sure that at least it is somewhat untangled before you put it back onto the bag. And it's fairly easy to get on there and also to get off. This is made of tan calf leather. It has a little top handle that doesn't really have an enormous drop. The handle drop is perfectly fine to hold with your hand. I mean, my hands are not that big, but as you can see, there's still ample space. So even if your hands are a bit wider, there's really no issue with that. And as you can imagine, this bag, it is very tiny, and because of that it also doesn't really weigh a lot. So it's about 200 to 300 grams, or I would say not even a pound. Let's give you a little tour while I talk about dimensions. So the width of this bag is 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches. The height is 8 centimeters or 3.1 inches, and the depth is 5.5 centimeters or 2.2 inches. And it is really, well, if you've seen a puzzle, you mostly have seen them all. It has this very typical silhouette. It has the flap with the zipper, has no feet. This one, it has no zipper pockets on the back. I think the smallest size puzzle that has that is the small. The mini also doesn't seem to have it. I always feel that with the Nano the back looks a bit weird, but let me just compare that to a small size puzzle in a bit. And on this side there's nothing happening, no feet, no external pockets. It has a zipper pull similarly to how the other puzzle bags have it. And here is the inside. It's also the very recognizable Loewe Puzzle interior. Just to make a bit of a comparison with the bigger size puzzle bag, this is actually still the small. Just already see how big the difference is. This is at least 1.5 times or 2 times as wide, also perhaps 1.5 to 2 times as tall, and the depth is, I would also say, perhaps even 2 times. So this is a small bag, and although the puzzle small holds really all of your daily essentials, this is a very, very tiny bag, but a lot of the things are indeed very similar. They have the zipper pull a bit bigger on the small bag than on the Nano. They have the very typical anagram, although here it's just embossed, and here it's also embossed, and also in the white. And going to the back, as I was just saying, perhaps it is just me, but I guess they actually look fairly similar on the back, come to think of it. Perhaps it's just because I'm so used to having this zipper here on the back on the small, and you actually also see that this is not really a very straight line, and that's also not the case on here. So in that sense, they are actually perhaps more similar than I had thought. The Nano is really very much a baby size of what the puzzle small would be. And this is really one of my favorite bags. I think that I'm just in general a very big fan of Loewe. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube who are fans of Hermes or Louis Vuitton. Or Chanel. The odd YouTuber is a very big fan of Fendi, for example, or Celine, and I think I always just considered myself, at least from the point where I started really getting into handbags, mostly a Loewe girl, or perhaps just a J.W. Anderson girl, because a lot of things that this designer puts out there, even under his own brand name, I just find very interesting. And I think the Loewe Puzzle and the J.W. Anderson Pierce bag were some of the first bags that really got me interested into designer and luxury handbags. So I guess I will always have a bit of a weak spot for them. And also because of that, I decided to get this Nano Loewe puzzle bag. I'm not somebody to get a huge collection of tiny bags. I like small bags, but these are bags that should really just at least hold my essentials. And if they cannot really pack a regular phone, then I'm just scared that, well, it might work for me now, but I just don't think that this is super future proof. As I go through phases in life where I want to carry perhaps more or less stuff, these small bags, they are really just one of the first to go out of the window. But having the weak spot for Loewe that I do, I just really wanted this to be part of my collection. So let's discuss what fits in this bag. As you can imagine, not a whole lot. I couldn't find any normal smartphone in this house that would actually fit this bag. Luckily, I don't have a normal phone. I have a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. So because of this, this is actually a phone that will fit in this bag. But it is quite bulky being folded up, especially with this case around it. So still, it takes a bit of maneuvering to get it in the bag. But as you can see, that will still give you some other space for essentials. Usually if I'm showing you what I can fit in a bag, it's a bag that will usually just at least hold my daily essentials. So I just toss in this pouch. Sorry, it's sort of a black hole or black hole on the outside. But today, well, I'm not going to show you all of the stuff that's in my pouch, but I'm going to at least show you a little bit what from my pouch can actually fit in this tiny bag. This is the card holder that I use. It is a pretty big one. It actually has 6 slots, and it also has an opening here on top that I have some cash in. Again, you have to kind of maneuver it in, but it does fit. But then actually just with a card holder, or with this card holder and with my phone, it already gets pretty bulky. Something else I might really want to have with me are these headphones. Can go in, but then actually, as you see, the bag already starts to distort a little bit. Let's take out the headphones because they're already a bit too bulky. Can put in a lip gloss, a hand balm, getting there slowly, keys, and with that on top, I would say it is already pretty full. There we have a brief what's in my bag or what fits in my bag. I've only used this bag a couple of times, but when I take it out, it's indeed a matter of my phone, my card holder, or perhaps not even my card holder. I've taken it to work once, and then I basically just popped everything in a bigger bag with my laptop, and this bag I just used for my phone, my public transport card, and my earphones. Just the things that I want to have easily accessible to me. So let's just briefly go over the pros of this bag. Well, I guess the main pro of a bag like this, it is just super adorable. This is a lovely color. It is very much, I would say, a springtime and summer color, but I don't know, perhaps I can also just pull this off during winter. We'll see how I feel about it. It is very lightweight, and I think for a Nano bag, they did a pretty decent execution. Sometimes Nano bags, they just become a bit frumpy because there's just a lot going on opposed to the regular size of the bag. It's something that I feel a little bit, for example, with the Balenciaga Neo Classic City bag in a Nano size. But I really like the way that this looks. The leather on this Nano size is a bit more flimsy than on the small puzzle, but it's not a very big difference, and also I'm not really surprised. I think you see with a lot of the Nano bags that they opt for a bit different materials or a bit thinner materials, probably because it's also easier to work with if you have to do a lot of stitching, which is the case with this bag, for example, that it might be easier just to have a bit thinner leather. But I wouldn't say that this is a flimsy bag, like especially the base is quite sturdy. It's not something that you can easily just fold flat. The chain strap that comes with it is as well gorgeous, and luckily it fits my phone. I like as well that you can wear this bag as a top handle. What I also like is that even though this is a Nano bag, it doesn't actually look super tiny, at least not on my posture. I really do like the way that it looks. Sometimes I feel like these Nano bags get sort of lost on people's bodies, and it really becomes more of an accessory than a bag, which is obviously also fine. But for me, I think this is really still in very good balance with my posture, even though I'm not very slim, but I'm also not very petite. I'm 5'5" or almost 1.70 m. So I think that in that sense, this bag actually still has some body to it. I think there's a multitude of cons because this bag is very tiny. It doesn't hold the phone. A lot of the other things that you want to get in and out of the bag, you will basically have to shimmy or maneuver. If you have a flip phone, it will actually fit in, which is why the phone not fitting part is not really applicable to me, or not really such a downside to me. But obviously if I decide to step away from the flip phone, I'm not really sure how I'm going to use this bag. So definitely not getting a lot more of these Nano bags. I've seen a couple of YouTubers unbox this bag and coming out disappointed, figuring out first of all that their phone was not going to fit, and then realizing that they were almost paying $1,000 for this tiny bag. And I mean, I can imagine that. I don't think that in any case I would recommend getting this bag because it is a lot of money for what you are getting. But if you appreciate Loewe as much as I do, and you can get it for a good price on the pre-loved market, then I think it is definitely an interesting one to add to your collection. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it and or found it useful. If you have any questions for me, drop them down below and I'll get back to you. Remember, there's a styling, a situation, and a taste for everything, so don't judge. Wear whatever the bag you like. Until next time, or as we would say in Dutch, doei!